Okay, let us just do one more thing before we abandon these snowmen, and that is to create an event that triggers only a few of them into Ragdoll and not all of them at the same time. First, let's create something that can trigger them. So I'm gonna create a geometry here. Gonna call this big sphere, and then I'm gonna in here, delete this, and create a sphere. Make it a polygon. I'm gonna put in a transform, and I'm gonna see the environment here. So let's put this guy up here somewhere, like here maybe, and then make him big, something like this. So now I have this giant boulder. Cool. And then do a null just to tidy it up. Out. Sphere and black. Alright, so let's get this guy into the sim. Oh, first of all, let's just make sure that these guys are not starting in Ragdoll. So let's go to the crowd source here. If we look at the sim, as you remember, wobble was one state. So let's set that state. And now I can select it here because I have the same name for the clip as I have for the state. Wobble here. So if we look at that, all of these guys are just in their wobble state. And this sphere is just sitting there doing nothing. Let's change that. First of all, let's get it into simulation. So I'm gonna hide everything so we just see what's in the simulation. And then I'm gonna make an RBD object. I'm gonna merge this guy with the crowd object. And I'm gonna put this into mutual. And from here, let's just, you have this subpath. Let us just select the big sphere here, out sphere. So if we go to the first frame, now we can see that we have the sphere here. It starts pretty slow. You can see it's rolling down, but I want it to move a little bit faster. So let's give it an initial velocity. So let's put this to 10. And let's see this. And I can see it gets a little push, and then it starts rolling down here over this poor snowman. Great. Alright, so now we just need to create a trigger. Let's do a trigger, a crowd trigger, and we need a transition. I have a crowd transition here. So we collect this here to the last port, and then connect the trigger. For the crowd transition, we want it to be from a wobble to Ragdoll. Sweet. So now we have like a lot of options to choose how we're going to trigger it. What I want to do is that I want to use the impact data. So, and here you have a DOP impact objects path. Let's call this sphere here. And then I'm just going to type sphere here. What this does is checking if the impact is higher than the specified threshold, and in that case trigger the agent into Ragdoll. But if we look at this, nothing is happening. And the reason for that is that this wobble is just in ignore mode. This means that it isn't part of the bullet simulation. To get that, we need to get it in by using this animated static. By doing this, it will still be playing its clip, but at the same time be part of the RBD simulation. So now it's in the simulation, so now it will record this impact data. If we play this again now. Now you can see that when they get crushed by this big boulder, or this big sphere, they get triggered into Ragdoll. This is of course a very simple example, so let's get into some more advanced stuff.